Good morning, John. I mean, personally for you, 2 goals on Saturday. How good did that feel for you on a personal level?
Yeah, personally, obviously, it was nice to score again. We've obviously gone a few games without creating as much as we probably would have liked, and have been a bit critical of ourselves in terms of our final ball and our final action hasn't quite been good enough. But for me, on a personal level, to obviously score 2 goals and most importantly help the team get a very needed and big result was very important. And I know my main job as a striker is to obviously score goals, and that's what you get judged on. And you want to help the team as much as you can. And I think probably at the moment the best way is to score the goals and keep the performances high. But there's a responsibility on my side to keep getting in the areas and keep taking the chances when they come my way.
I mean, for you now, since joining the club, 5 goals in 9 games in the league, do you feel that you're starting to get back? I don't know. People will look from the outside looking in and say your time at Doncaster was your most prolific. Do you feel you're starting to get back to that level?
Yeah, I feel really confident. Physically, I feel really good. I'm not one to make excuses, but obviously I hadn't played a lot of football, and then you come in somewhere and you play 3 games and you score 3 goals, and everyone thinks, oh, he's back to his normal self and back to scoring goals. And then I think because I hadn't played or started as many games in recent months that I would have liked, when the Saturday Tuesdays were coming along, I found maybe a little bit that I didn't have maybe my full spark and my full energy. And I think that was just probably because, as I say, my fitness levels needed to build up. And but I've managed to grind through that stage, and on Saturday and the week before as well, I feel like after we've had the breaks, obviously with the Fleetwood game called off on the Saturday, gave an extra few days in between, and then the week in between games, being able to get some time on the training pitch and just sharpen the tools has been really helpful. And now I feel like 9 games in, I feel as close to probably 100% as I felt in a long time in terms of physically and mentally as well. I'm in a great place. As you say, 5 goals in 9. Probably a little bit disappointed I haven't got more. When I look at probably the Bolton game and the Doncaster game, I had a couple of chances in the Bolton game, a couple of half chances in the Doncaster game, which I'd like to think I can do better with. But at the moment, as I say, for me, I feel in a really good place. We've still got 12 games left, really big games in terms of every result, every point matters coming to the final block of the season. And I feel confident going into them. I feel physically and mentally in a really good place.
And as a collective squad, you've touched on those games where you were frustrated, looking back to that Doncaster one in particular, sides in and around you at the bottom of the table. How much does it speak about this squad, the fact that you've played a team in Sheffield Wednesday where the table and the form guy would say away win, and you've upset them and put in a great performance and got a 3-1 win?
Yeah, and that's something we spoke about, is every single game, there's no game more important or less important than another one. People look and think, oh, the games near the bottom, they're more important because if you can win, you can get some daylight. And then you've got the games with teams at the top where you've got nothing to lose. And if you looked at Saturday, I'm sure every person who looks at football would, as you say an away win. Their form had been terrific going into the game. Ours not so good, probably over the last 3 or 4 games. But what we said is that Saturday now is a benchmark for us, and we've set a standard for where we want to be in terms of our physical output, our application to the game. I think Saturday was probably, speaking for myself, I think it was my best all-round performance, but I think it's probably the best team performance since I've been here, in terms of everyone stuck to their roles and responsibilities, everyone put in a great shift for the team, done the basics of football really well, and that helped us get a result. And I think when you've got 7, 8, 9 players every week playing like that, being on top of their 1v1 individual battles, it really helps you get a result. And I think we've done that in abundance on Saturday. And we said afterwards, it's only one game. but we've got 12 games left, and we've almost got to wind the season down into like a mini season now. We've got a 12-game season where let's see how many points we can get. Let's look at Saturday's performance, look at what we've done well, look at what we didn't do so well, and take the good things into the back 12 games of the season, because I think that's going to be vital for us to, first of all, get points on the board to probably ease a few nerves of people that are maybe looking over their shoulder. But for me, the glass is half full. There's a lot more to come from us, and this 12 games can be really important. Finish to the season, and then looking forward into next season.
And I spoke to Michael Appleton about it earlier, playing the back three with the wing backs on Saturday. For you up front, did you notice a change in the number of opportunities that were being created for you and the quality of chances that were being created for you as a result, or was it not too much different?
Yeah, I suppose so. I think when I look back at probably some of my earlier time at Doncaster, it was always two up front with a number 10, and I played a lot of 3-5-2. I played a lot of a 4 diamond 2. So having a partner up there helps. But then also having the person in Chris Maguire on Saturday who sort of links the midfield to the front line, someone with his quality, really helps as well. We obviously had Brooke and Morgan, who I thought were excellent in what they've done in terms of their aggression they were basically 1v1 against their wing backs. And I think, 2 centre midfielders, again, were all over their midfielders. The back three, apart from their goal, I can't really remember them having too many other opportunities. And I think going forward, obviously I'm not the manager, but I feel like it worked well on Saturday, and it's a good option to have, is being flexible and being able to play different formations against different teams. And I think for a team that only worked on it for a few days last week, we look very, very comfortable in that formation. So it's a good option to have.
Looking ahead to tomorrow night against Ipswich Town, you'll have played at Portman Road before. They've been in League One for far too long than they would like, given they're a club of that size. How's it been playing at Portman Road, and can you feel perhaps the frustration from the stands in terms of their predicament over the last few seasons, and have felt that you can use that against them when you've played there?
Yeah, as you say, Ipswich are a massive club in English football, really. They've been at the top level for a long time and found themselves in League One for, as you say, a few too many years. And they've had a really big rebuild this year in terms of the amount of people they've brought in. They've changed the manager, and they're like Sheffield Wednesday were. They're in a great place at the moment in terms of their form, but it can quickly change. And it's not easy to go to Portman Road by any stretch. But what we also said the other day was, you want to be playing in these sort of games every week. You want to be playing, Ipswich's and Sheffield Wednesdays, and you want to be playing them teams at the top end of leagues or in the league above. And them pressured situations, you've got to use them to your advantage. You've got to relish in the moment and enjoy it, because I think Tuesday night will be another fantastic game of football in terms of everything's going to be against us. We're going to be away from home. Tuesday night, they'll probably have a good crowd. All the expectations on them to win. We've got nothing to lose, and we can go in there and we can, if we put in a performance close or anywhere near to Saturday, and if we can better it even better, then I think we have a chance of causing another upset. But we've just got to make sure that our application and our work rate is everything that we had on Saturday and more.
Yeah, and having beaten Sheffield Wednesday on Saturday, as you say, the team have already gone away to the likes of Sunderland and Wigan and won as well. So how much confidence can you take from those victories and those performances going into the game tomorrow night?
Yeah, exactly. And I think the away form here in general this season's been slightly better than the home form. And when, as you say, you look at the results you mentioned there in Sunderland and Wigan, going away from home and beating teams like that, it's not easy. And we'll set up in a way that we think will give us the best chance of doing that tomorrow night. And we have to just be reliable and responsible in our jobs, which we've been set out to do by the manager and the coaching staff. And I'm sure if, as I say, you have 7, 8, 9 players come out on top of their individual battles against who they're up against, it will give us a very good chance of getting a good result.